Say you always wanted a BMW M2. It's the quintessential baby M car. Smooth and powerful straight-six engine. You could get it with a manual transmission or an excellent dual clutch. Smaller dimensions and less weight than a 3 Series. And just overall a very fun car to drive on street, in the canyons, or on track. But let's say you don't want to spend the $35,000 to $40,000+ to get a decent first-gen M2. Can you build an old BMW 128i to feel as fun and capable in the canyons? That's the question I'm going to try to answer in today's head-to-head comparison. We're currently sitting in a 2009 BMW 128i from the E82 generation, and the
both of these cars are nice, but they're old, but they're both nice.
owner Terrence picked this up for super cheap and put a bunch of mods on it for the track in the canyons. The interior is still stock, so this retains a lot of daily drivability, but all of the upgrades he's done has made this a much more effective track car. It has a huge list of mods that will be in the video description, but we've got active auto work catless headers, Euro intake box, remote tuning done by 22 RPD. This is estimated to make 240 wheel horsepower, 220 wheel torque. Terrence also swapped in a 1M 6-speed manual transmission, an M factory LSD with a 3.73 final drive. Stock is only a 3.23, 135i brakes all around, and for suspension we have TC Klein single adjustable coilovers, E92 M3 front control arms, 17 by 8.5 wheels wrapped in 245 section width RT660 tires. And the current weight with a half tank of gas is just under 3,100 pounds. So clearly far from stock, but total cost of this car at 170,000 miles with all the mods, less than $20,000. Terrence said his total cost probably is closer to 16 to 17 grand. Granted, he did most of the work himself, but the point is you can build a 128i for about half the price of a base M2. Is it as fun to drive? That's the question. Interior is typical 1 Series from this generation. I actually quite like it. It feels more solidly built, nice GT4 RS, than the F87 M2. Fewer squeaks and rattles. Everything just feels like it's glued together or screwed together a little bit more tightly. He's got this very short throw shifter on it with a stock shift knob. Actually,
I bet this whole video he's gonna be glazing the old car and hating on the M2.
Fine in terms of the end.
He's gonna hate on the M2 and be wanking over the 1 Series.
VH levels. Wow, that is very short gearing with a 3.73 final drive.
Jeez, this guy's suicidal, man.
Ooh, the suspension is stiff, but it has very quick responses. Look at this, already in 4th gear.
That suspension is too stiff. I don't like it. That's an old car for you.
Wow, I'm already digging this. Good steering feel. This is the last generation of baby BMW with a hydraulic steering rack, and it's got good load up behavior, good on center feel. It's definitely a highlight of the car. Oh yes, good throttle response, silky smooth straight 6 NA engine. This is a very good car. I can see why he was able to pull off a 127 lap time at Thunderhill West. Very well balanced. A little firm for this bumpy road in terms of the rear suspension. I love this short gearing. It really wakes this car up. It's not very powerful from the factory. Even with the tune, we're talking 220 wheel horsepower. But with the short gears, the car's just always in the power band now.
This guy's a cold driver though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, This M Factory LSD feels really good.
LSD.
For a not super high-end, expensive LSD, this transforms the car. With an open diff, this would just not be a lot of fun exiting corners. Very sharp front end. Not sure how I feel about this short throw shifter. The throws are so short that it's almost unnerving. Sometimes I feel like, am I in the right gear? At just under 3,100 pounds, this car is not super light, but a few hundred pounds lighter than a base M2 should make a big difference. This car is so much fun. Baby 1 Series, who knew? Throw some mods on it, bolt-ons, tunes, suspension, and you get an absolute riot of a little car. Downsides for me, I would say, is that the car feels like it just has kind of a high center of gravity. Even with this track-focused suspension and all the 135i and E92 upgrades, it feels like it's just moving around a bit too much. It doesn't stay very flat. The owner Terrence mentioned he came from an FRS as his previous track car, and that just felt a lot more nimble and focused from a handling standpoint, and that makes sense. This car just feels like it has, again, a high center of gravity, but given that limitation, he's dialed this thing in really, really well. Very good balance of power to suspension, to brakes, and the LSD. And of course, this amazing short gearing. He mentioned the 3.73 final drive was out of an automatic 335i. And this TC Klein suspension, it's a little stiff for this bumpy road, but I can tell on track, this thing would be so capable. Very quick responses and good body control.
BMW is the best.
What a car. But now let's compare it to a stock F87 base M2 and see if you're still better off just getting a proper M car. All right, we're now in the 2017 BMW F87 M2 base, not the competition like the one that I currently co-own. This is powered by the
this car's beautiful. Oh fuck, I'm actually
N55 engine. It's a 3-liter straight
3-liter
6 turbocharged, making 365 horsepower and close to 350 pound-feet of torque. So it's at least 100 horsepower at the wheels more than Terrence's 128i.
There's no way that old BMW is better than that, bro. Never.
But crucially, it's a few hundred pounds heavier. I think around 300 pounds heavier. Similar dimensions, similar driving position. Of course, being an F-Series BMW, this has the updated interior, which in my opinion doesn't feel as well built. Almost every F-Series BMW I've driven compared to the equivalent E-Series, like E90 versus F80 and so on, the newer cars, even though they have lower mileage, have more squeaks and rattles. It's almost like the way they glued or screwed these panels together just doesn't hold up as well over time. That being said though,
I told you he's gonna be hating on the he's gonna be hating on the M2, loving on the BMW 128i. I'm telling you, he's just one of these guys, bro.
From the factory bone stock, this car is a lot more capable than a 128i. It has an LSD as standard. This one has a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, M-tuned suspension, This generation, except for the CS, did not come with adaptive dampers. Strut front multi-link rear suspension just like the E-Series, but this has electric power steering versus that 128i's hydraulic steering. Let's see how all of that translates into driving dynamics. We're gonna throw this into Sport Plus, manual mode for this transmission. By the way, this has a tune. The owner doesn't know what tune's on it, but it appears to be more of an exhaust sound tune than an actual power enhancing tune. Very first thing I'm noticing, well, two things. This engine has so much more torque. But second thing is that, oh my goodness, this front end is numb. Compared to that 128i's amazing hydraulic steering, which has great on-center feedback and talks to you when you're loaded up in a corner, this just has a ton of artificial weight in Sport Plus.
I told you guys, he's just hating.
This 7-speed dual clutch is impressive. It's not as smooth as a ZF 8-speed in the current generation M2, but it feels snappier. The difference in power is apparent. There's so much more torque with this N55. It doesn't make as nice of a sound, in my opinion, as that naturally aspirated 3-liter in the 128, but the straight...
He's saying that the 128 sounds better than this. He's fucking just hating, bro.
Line performance, there's a huge difference here. But how about the handling? You know the horsepower is going to be what it is. You can tell on paper. But how about how this car drives in the corners? When you start pushing it a little bit harder, it's a lot less confidence inspiring. I don't feel what the car is doing nearly as well.
Oh, shut up.
Very impressive in a straight line. Even though the M2 Comp has a lot more power, this is still a lot of power for a small little 2 Series. But it feels traction limited. And the way the suspension is tuned, it just moves around so much. It feels unsettled over the bumps. Can't really tell what the front end is doing and how that correlates to behavior from the rear end. It's all just a bit disconnected. There's so much steering weight in Sport Plus, but so little feedback.
Bro.
I'm not sure I'm having as much fun.
He's saying he's having more fun in the old BM than
starting
this.
to slide.
He's just shy.
Oh yeah. Very traction limited. It wants the throttle steer out of every corner, even in 3rd gear. I'm 1 gear higher than I was in the 128i, but this car is just so lively. Ratio of power to rear grip is much higher in this car, and at the same time, because it doesn't communicate as much, it just leads to an overall
who's buying these cars to speed around in the hills, like realistically?
Let's try putting it into sport mode. Steering gets lighter. This actually feels like a much more natural steering weight, but there's still very little feedback.
He wasn't even in sport mode. Is he not doing sport driving right now? This is not normal driving. Look, he's loving it now.
Lots of pops and crackles from that exhaust. I think that's because of the tune.
Look, now he's loving it. He put it in sport mode, now he loves it. He's acting like he doesn't love it. Look at him. How's he hating?
Very quick dual clutch. I honestly think the DCT is the way to go with the F87 generation. The manual is just kind of this rubbery, vague mess.
Rubbery, vague.
With this, at least you can keep both hands on the wheel, which you need to do because, again, you have to be ready for this to step out and catch you off guard while doing it. Because it doesn't communicate a whole lot. And the suspension, it moves around. It doesn't feel planted. But that's also part of the charm of the F87 M2. It's not this hunkered down M car, but even though this has way more straight line performance than that 128i, I gotta say, this car's just not as enjoyable to drive quickly.
It's not enjoyable to drive. He's trying. Did you guys not just see him enjoying the drive 5 minutes ago? He's enjoying
there is
the
some
drive
turbo
right
lag
now.
down low. Obviously, you don't have to deal with that with a naturally aspirated straight six, and that also adds to the drama of the F87. If you get a little bit too low in the rev range coming out of a corner and you're aggressive with your right foot, that can also cause the car to go sideways in a sort of unpredictable manner. So at the end of the day, I guess it depends on what kind of driving experience you're looking for. If you want a hunkered down, nimble, tossable little BMW, 128i with the right mods, the short gears,
the mods, like,
the
no one's
TC
gonna mod
Climb
that car,
coilovers, and retrofitting some parts from the E92 and 135i, I think that offers a much more kind of cohesive driving experience if that's what you're into. But on the other hand, if you just want to feel alive every time you put your right foot down, even if it's a little scary at times, that's when the F87 Base M2 really shines. It's a car that keeps you on your A game at all times. If it were me, as a daily driver and sort of occasional track or canyon car, F87 M2 makes a lot of sense. But if you really just want connected and confidence-inspiring driving dynamics, a modified 1 Series BMW is still where it's at. The hydraulic steering, the lighter weight, just the better communication from the car in general.
But the thing is, if you put the same mods that's on the 1 Series on the 2 Series, it wouldn't even be fair, you know? The 1 Series only standing a chance because it has mods on it. Because without the mods, there's nothing. But I do really like the 128i. I'm not gonna lie. I do like it. I think it's a really nice car.
Plus the fact that you can pick them up for cheaper and spend that savings on proper...
They look quite good too, you know? It's like a little brother. But like, I like the shape of the 128i. I think it's one of the old classic. It's like one of the last classic BMW shapes, you know?
mods, it gives you the more driver-focused experience at the end of the day. So big shout out to the owners. Let me know what you think about this comparison. What do you think about the E series versus the F series cars in general? Whether it's 1M versus M2, 128i versus 228i, or even F80 M3 versus E90 M3. In my mind, I've always preferred the E series. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Guys, please make sure to comment on this Richh video. I comment on every single video I watch. It's only fair, it's free to do, why not? I'm going to comment W cars. I'm not gonna lie. Oh shit. All the cars, well actually W's, both of them were beautiful cars. But yeah guys, comment what you think about this Richh video. Someone says I own it. As far as RS, but man, like, he's trying to do all the, you know what it is? I would get a 128i if I had money to start putting mods into it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But then I would also like a new BM just because I like new cars. So, don't know. Like, a modified 128i is a good car. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling. See you guys in the next video. And guys, it's 5 AM. I haven't slept. I think I'm going through this sort of psychosis where I'm addicted to streaming. I'm not even streaming, I'm just addicted to just working because I see streaming as working. And when I'm at home, if I'm not working, I just feel like I'm wasting my time. So I literally work until I literally cannot stay up for any longer. I'm talking about like literally like struggling to stay up, and then I go to sleep. Never get tired, man. What you say is important, you know. I hear people saying, oh, I'm tired. When you say you're tired, you know you're controlling something. What you say is very important. Don't get tired, guys. We're full of life. We're all full of energy.